Hello, in this video I will show you how bubbles and Deadspace interact. I found that this topic causes a lot of confusion and I think it's worth making a quick video to demonstrate the main concepts. So I'm in a stage 5 corruption system which allows bubbles to be used in lowsec, and I have an interdictor right at 0 in Caldari Scout Navyplex. So in normal space, when I bubble up at 0 of this complex, any ship that warps to it will get dragged in the bubble. So let's see what happens here. So I launched a bubble and let's warp at let's say 100. So if the drag bubble works, I will not land at 100, I will land in the bubble itself. And as you can clearly see, I'm in a bubble trajectory, but I did not get dragged in the bubble. So the drag bubbles do not work in Deadspace. And let's do another test. So now I will burn like 100 kilometers towards Pavanaka. And when I will launch a bubble, let's say 100 kilometers away from the warping point. And again, in normal space, it means that anything that warps onto this trajectory will get dragged in this bubble. But let's see what happens in Deadspace. So now my alt is about 80 kilometers away, so I will launch another bubble. And I will warp, let's say, at 50. I still have one bubble at 0, and now I have another bubble at 50. And let's see what happens. So yeah, you can see that I went through this bubble and I did not get dragged into either of them. So in normal space, I would have finished about here, but in Deadspace, since drag bubbles do not work, I did not get dragged in this bubble and I did not get dragged into this bubble. So as I said in the theoretical parts, bubbles, your warping distance it will stay the same regardless of the bubbles on grid. So if you warp at 50 in Deadspace, you will always land at 50 on the acceleration gate. If you warp at 100, you will always land at 100. Does not matter. And as one final bit, if I actually burn in the bubble in Deadspace, and if I try to warp away while being in the bubble, so let's say I still want to warp to Pavanaka, and now I'm in the bubble, it does not work. So bubbles on grid work as usual. If you are inside the bubble, even if it's in Deadspace, it still will not work. Your warp will not work. Okay, I hope you found this useful, and I will see you in the next videos.